We're going to talk about how to correctly put the slide into a Seydel Volcany or Saxony. In this case, it has a trapezoidal mouthpiece. I hate to say it, but it's a complex process to do it properly without scratching things, bending things up, damaging things. And I'm going to go into a little bit of explanation now of what the challenges are and then actually do it for you. Okay, a lot of the challenges are alignment. Now, I've already put a tiny amount of slide oil just on my fingertips, barely visible, and do a very thin layer on both sides of the H-bar, the blank, the slide, understanding that the slide should have the checker mark to the top left extending over farther to the left. It should not be in that orientation, but should be in this orientation. The problem is you're going to have to push this H-bar in pretty far to get that slide to spring to pop out enough to grab onto that slide. So you've got your bare mouthpiece, your comb like this. Then, of course, this hole in the top has to be lined up. That's important, okay? And this has to seat onto there correctly. Then you'll have the slide itself. Then the slide runs on the flat blank, and then the mouthpiece goes here. The problem is, you can even see the problem. In its relaxed position, this hole's not lined up. See? The hole for the mouthpiece screw. So when it's like that, it won't go through, nor will the little bumper that's on the mouthpiece screw, which is this teeny little plastic bumper. That has to clear the hole smoothly too. And of course, our mouthpiece needs to be in the correct orientation, and it has a cut up in the top right for the slide as well. So I usually put that on a shelf. I put the harmonica against something where I can push on it. And this is the orientation that I actually do the job in. And I'll try and walk you through this. I'm sorry I don't have a better camera angle. I don't do this for a living, and I don't have the gear, but I'll do the best I can for you. So I'm going to try to align everything. It starts with the H-bar, but the H-bar has to come in pretty even beyond the hole a little bit for that spring to stick up enough to get into this hole and hold. So you kind of have to almost push it to the left by a ½ millimeter so it clears. Then you can come in and come with your flat blank, bringing this into position. And at this point in time, if I push in the slide just a little bit, everything's going to clear and I can put it all together. So I'm going to come here, take my finger and press on the inside like this and come to here. And it just popped off. See, that's not uncommon, where the slide spring will just pop off. If you're not careful, you're going to scratch up your slide really bad with all this wiggling around. And at this point, I can come in with this. Now, the best way to stabilize the slide is to kind of hold it in place with your thumb a little bit almost, okay? Then I line up all these holes so I've got a hole gap straight down. I can come in, drop the mouthpiece on, and everything's going to go together with no problem. Okay, so again, I have down pressure on the slide right now and in pressure, both, to hold this thing in its correct orientation. Then I can start to bring the screw in and come in here and do this one too. Now, you don't want to over tighten these things. You just kind of want them snug. Okay? Just snug. And come here. Just snug. Now, the next thing you want to do is come in and manually take a look at the orientation. So as we look at the harp, it's coming in and out smoothly. The parts are flush and fit properly. So again, I push the H bar this way, all the parts this way, pressed in the slide a little bit. When the holes were all lined up, I dropped in the mouthpiece with the mouthpiece screws in it with the bumpers on them, and everything cleared. Now, if you don't do it this way, if you don't preload that H bar a little bit, you're going to scratch up the slide because the slide will jump off the spring top and it'll slide and scratch the slide up. Then it won't move as smoothly as it should. That's not good. If you don't push the H bar in, you will not get the bumper to seat in the hole. It won't go through the hole. There's not enough room. So you have to compress this way the H bar and the flat blank and the slide. Line up until you get a clear hole. Then take your mouthpiece and drop it into position. But this is the way it works, you know. And of course, as you take a look, you'll see that in a relaxed position, the holes are all open on top. Now, if you put the slide in backwards, all of the holes would now be open on the bottom. So you want to make sure that you got the holes open on the top, like that. Okay, so that answers the question of how to properly install a slide in a Seydel Volcany. It's not so easy.